Meditation and wisdom are two core elements in Buddhist philosophy, emphasized by the Dalai Lama as essential methods for developing a profound understanding of the nature of reality and liberation from ignorance. Meditation. In Buddhism, meditation is a practice that helps individuals focus their minds and achieve mental clarity. It is divided into two main types: Samatha, calm abiding, and Vipassana, insight. Samatha. This practice involves concentrating the mind on a single object to cultivate tranquility and suppress mental distractions. By focusing attention, practitioners can attain deep states of mental absorption known as jhanas. Vipassana. This practice aims to develop insight into the true nature of phenomena, recognizing their impermanent, unsatisfactory, and non-self characteristics. Through Vipassana, practitioners gain direct understanding of reality, leading to liberation from suffering. The combination of these meditation practices enables practitioners to calm the mind and develop profound insight, essential for the path to enlightenment. Wisdom. In Buddhism, wisdom refers to the deep understanding of the true nature of reality, particularly the concepts of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. It is cultivated through learning, reflection, and meditation. Wisdom is considered the antidote to ignorance, which is the root cause of suffering. The development of wisdom involves hearing, learning and studying the teachings of the Buddha. Reflection, contemplating and analyzing the teachings to gain a deeper understanding. Meditation, directly experiencing the truth of the teachings through meditative practice. By progressing through these stages, practitioners can eradicate ignorance and achieve liberation. The Dalai Lama's emphasis. The 14th Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso, has consistently highlighted the importance of meditation and wisdom in the Buddhist path. He teaches that through disciplined meditation, one can develop mental concentration and clarity, which are prerequisites for cultivating wisdom. This wisdom allows individuals to understand the true nature of reality, leading to compassion and liberation from suffering. In his teachings, the Dalai Lama often emphasizes the interdependence of meditation and wisdom, stating that without wisdom, meditation lacks direction, and without meditation, wisdom lacks depth. Therefore, both are essential and complementary in the journey toward enlightenment. Meditation and wisdom are fundamental in Buddhist practice, serving as the means to understand reality and attain liberation. The Dalai Lama's teachings underscore their significance, guiding practitioners toward a path of inner peace and ultimate freedom. 1. Samatha. Samatha meditation, a comprehensive analysis of tranquility in the Dalai Lama's teachings. Samatha meditation, often referred to as calm abiding meditation, is one of the most essential and profound practices in Buddhist tradition. Rooted in the teachings of the Buddha and carried forward by countless practitioners over millennia, Samatha serves as the cornerstone for achieving inner tranquility and mental stability. The Dalai Lama, one of the most renowned spiritual leaders of our time, has consistently highlighted the importance of Samatha in his teachings. He emphasizes its value not only as a tool for calming the mind but also as a preparatory practice for deeper insights into reality and the cultivation of compassion. This essay aims to provide a detailed examination of Samatha meditation by exploring its techniques, benefits, philosophical underpinnings, and its role in contemporary contexts, as taught and elucidated by the Dalai Lama. We will delve into how Samatha integrates with Buddhist philosophy, how it has been validated by modern science, and how it remains relevant in today's fast-paced world. By the end, readers will gain a comprehensive understanding of Samatha as both a spiritual discipline and a practical approach to mental well-being. The foundations of Samatha meditation. Definition and purpose. Samatha, derived from the Pali and Sanskrit languages, translates to settledness, peace, or calm. The practice involves focusing the mind on a single object, such as the breath, a visualization, or a mantra, with the aim of stabilizing attention and achieving a state of inner stillness. Unlike insight meditation, Vipassana, which emphasizes analytical inquiry into the nature of reality, Samatha is primarily concerned with taming the mind and cultivating a serene mental state. The Dalai Lama describes Samatha as a foundational practice that prepares the practitioner for advanced spiritual disciplines. Without the stability and clarity developed through Samatha, the mind remains too scattered to engage deeply with the subtler aspects of Buddhist practice, such as understanding the nature of emptiness, sunyata, or cultivating bodhicitta, the altruistic intention to achieve enlightenment for the sake of all beings. Historical context. Samatha meditation has its roots in the earliest teachings of the Buddha. In the Pali Canon, the Buddha frequently emphasizes the importance of right concentration, samadhi, as part of the Noble Eightfold Path. This concentration is cultivated through samatha, which leads to the development of meditative absorptions known as the jhanas. The Dalai Lama often refers to these historical teachings to stress that samatha is not merely a means to relaxation but a profound spiritual tool that facilitates the transformation of the mind. By tracing its lineage back to the Buddha's time, the Dalai Lama underscores its universal applicability and timeless relevance. Techniques of Samatha meditation. Choosing an object of focus. The first step in Samatha meditation is selecting a suitable object of focus. Common objects include 1. The breath. Observing the natural rhythm of inhalation and exhalation is one of the most widely practiced techniques. 2. A visual image. This could be a mental image of the Buddha, a mandala, or a flame. 3. A repeated phrase, mantra repeating sacred syllables such as Om Mani Padme Hum, can anchor the mind. 4. Loving kindness, metta focusing on the intention of goodwill toward oneself and others. The Dalai Lama advises choosing an object that resonates personally with the practitioner, as this enhances engagement and motivation. Stages of development. The Dalai Lama often explains samatha as a progressive process with distinct stages. 1. Overcoming distractions. Initially, the mind is restless and prone to wandering. The practitioner's task is to recognize distractions and gently redirect attention to the chosen object. 2. Sustained attention. With practice, the mind becomes less scattered, and periods of focused attention lengthen. 3. Mental stability and joy. As concentration deepens, the practitioner experiences a sense of mental stability, accompanied by joy and ease. 4. Full absorption, jhana. In advanced stages, the mind enters a state of profound stillness and unity with the object of focus, free from all distractions. The role of ethics and lifestyle. The Dalai Lama emphasizes that ethical conduct is essential for successful meditation. A lifestyle rooted in compassion, honesty, and mindfulness creates the mental conditions necessary for samatha to flourish. He also notes the importance of a conducive environment. A quiet and undisturbed setting helps the practitioner maintain focus and consistency. Benefits of samatha meditation. Mental clarity and emotional regulation. One of the most immediate benefits of samatha meditation is the cultivation of mental clarity. By training the mind to remain focused, practitioners can overcome the habitual patterns of rumination and distraction that often lead to stress and anxiety. The Dalai Lama often highlights how samatha helps individuals gain control over their emotional responses, reducing the intensity of anger, fear, and attachment. Preparation for insight. Samatha serves as a preparatory practice for vipassana, or insight meditation. The stability developed through samatha allows practitioners to investigate the nature of reality without being overwhelmed by mental agitation. The Dalai Lama frequently reminds his audiences that samatha and vipassana are complementary. One provides the calm, and the other provides the wisdom. Cultivation of compassion. A calm mind is more open to altruistic emotions. The Dalai Lama teaches that samatha can deepen one's capacity for compassion and loving kindness. By quieting self-centered thoughts, practitioners can connect more deeply with the suffering and needs of others. Physical and psychological well-being. Modern research supports the Dalai Lama's assertions about the benefits of meditation. Studies have shown that samatha can lower stress hormones, improve sleep, and enhance overall well-being. Neurological research indicates that regular meditation strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the brain region associated with attention and emotional regulation. Practical case studies and personal stories. A number of practitioners and spiritual teachers have shared their transformative experiences with samatha meditation. For example, one practitioner recounts how a consistent focus on the breath over several months helped her overcome chronic anxiety. Another story from a Tibetan monk describes achieving mental clarity and an ability to face hardships with equanimity after years of meditation practice. The Dalai Lama frequently refers to such examples to illustrate how samatha can be tailored to meet the needs of modern practitioners while retaining its profound spiritual essence. Philosophical underpinnings of samatha in the Dalai Lama's teachings. The nature of mind. The Dalai Lama often links samatha meditation to a deeper understanding of the nature of the mind. He describes the mind as inherently luminous and capable of extraordinary clarity. However, this natural clarity is often obscured by mental afflictions such as anger, desire, and ignorance. Through samatha, practitioners can begin to glimpse this innate purity and develop the stability needed to uncover deeper truths. Emptiness and interdependence. Samatha also plays a critical role in understanding emptiness, sunyata, a central concept in Buddhist philosophy. The Dalai Lama explains that the calm and focused mind developed through samatha is essential for contemplating the interdependent nature of all phenomena. Without such stability, the mind cannot effectively engage with the subtleties of Madhyamaka, middle way, philosophy. Ethical living and altruism. In the Dalai Lama's teachings, samatha is not an isolated practice but part of a holistic path that includes ethical living and altruistic intention. He often emphasizes the interconnectedness of inner peace and outer compassion, teaching that the tranquility gained through samatha should naturally extend to benefiting others. Integration with bodhisattva ideals. The Dalai Lama frequently reminds practitioners that samatha is a stepping stone toward embodying the ideals of a bodhisattva, one who seeks enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. A stable and tranquil mind is indispensable for developing the wisdom and compassion required to undertake such a noble path. Contemporary relevance of samatha meditation. In modern life. In today's world, where distractions abound and mental health issues are on the rise, samatha meditation offers a powerful antidote. The Dalai Lama encourages people from all walks of life to adopt meditation as a means of achieving balance and resilience. He stresses that one need not be a Buddhist to benefit from these practices. Their universality makes them accessible to anyone seeking greater peace. Scientific validation. The Dalai Lama has collaborated with neuroscientists to explore the effects of meditation on the brain. Research involving experienced meditators has revealed significant changes in brain function, including increased gray matter density and improved connectivity between brain regions. These findings validate the Dalai Lama's assertion that samatha is not only spiritually enriching but also neurologically transformative. Application in secular contexts. Beyond spiritual circles, samatha has found applications in education, therapy, and corporate wellness programs. Schools have begun integrating mindfulness practices inspired by samatha to help students improve focus and emotional regulation. Therapists often recommend similar techniques to clients coping with anxiety or trauma. In corporate settings, meditation workshops are increasingly popular as a means of enhancing productivity and reducing stress. Global impact. Beyond individual benefits, the Dalai Lama believes that samatha meditation can contribute to global harmony. He often speaks about how inner peace is a prerequisite for outer peace. By cultivating calm and compassion on a personal level, practitioners can play a role in reducing conflict and promoting understanding in the broader world. Samatha meditation, as elucidated by the Dalai Lama, is far more than a technique for relaxation. It is a profound spiritual discipline that cultivates mental stability, prepares the mind for deep insight, and fosters compassion. Rooted in ancient Buddhist teachings yet validated by modern science, Samatha remains a timeless and universally relevant practice. Through his teachings, the Dalai Lama inspires practitioners to approach Samatha with patience, consistency, and a commitment to ethical living. He reminds us that the calm mind cultivated through Samatha is not an end in itself but a gateway to wisdom, compassion, and ultimately, enlightenment. In a world increasingly characterized by stress and division, Samatha offers a beacon of hope, guiding individuals toward a more peaceful and harmonious existence. By expanding the depth and consistency of one's practice, practitioners may find that the benefits of Samatha extend far beyond personal well-being, influencing relationships, communities, and even the global sphere. As the Dalai Lama often suggests, the journey to a more peaceful world begins within each individual's mind. Tenzin was a young man living in a bustling city, caught in the endless cycle of work and stress. Despite his achievements, he often felt an underlying emptiness, as though life was rushing by without meaning. One day, after a particularly challenging period, he attended a public teaching by the Dalai Lama, where he first heard about Samatha meditation. Intrigued but skeptical, he decided to explore it further. Initially, Tenzin struggled to keep his mind focused on his breath. Thoughts of work deadlines, personal worries, and even doubts about meditation constantly intruded. However, he remembered the Dalai Lama's advice to approach the practice with patience and kindness toward oneself. Gradually, with daily practice, he noticed subtle changes. His mind began to quiet, and moments of clarity emerged amidst the mental noise. After a few months, Tenzin experienced a breakthrough. During one session, as his focus deepened, he felt a profound sense of stillness and joy. The weight of his worries seemed to dissolve, replaced by an expansive sense of peace. This newfound tranquility extended beyond his meditation sessions, transforming how he approached challenges and relationships in his daily life. Over time, Tenzin began to pair his Samatha practice with acts of compassion. Inspired by the Dalai Lama's teachings, he volunteered at a local community center, offering support to those in need. His interactions with others became more empathetic, and he discovered a deeper sense of purpose. Years later, Tenzin reflected on his journey. What began as a simple curiosity had become a cornerstone of his life. Through Samatha meditation, he had found not only inner peace but also a way to contribute to the well-being of others. As he often told his friends, the path to transforming the world starts by transforming your own mind. This story, though fictional, illustrates the profound impact Samatha meditation can have on an individual's life, echoing the timeless wisdom of the Dalai Lama's teachings. 2. Prajna. Prajna, the profound wisdom in Buddhist philosophy. Prajna, often translated as wisdom or insight, is a pivotal concept in Buddhist philosophy. Unlike conventional wisdom, which may stem from accumulated knowledge or intellectual reasoning, prajna is an experiential understanding of the fundamental truths that govern existence. It allows practitioners to penetrate the illusions that obscure reality, offering a pathway to liberation from suffering. At the heart of prajna lies the understanding of emptiness, sunyata, and non-self, anatta, foundational teachings that challenge deeply ingrained assumptions about self, identity, and the nature of existence. This detailed analysis will explore the concept of prajna in depth, examining its philosophical foundations, practical applications, and transformative power. By delving into its relationship with sunyata and anatta, we will uncover how prajna serves as the cornerstone of the Buddhist path to enlightenment. The etymology and scope of prajna. The term prajna originates from the Sanskrit roots pra, meaning before or superior, and jna, meaning knowledge or understanding. Combined, prajna signifies a superior wisdom that transcends ordinary knowledge. In the Pali Canon, the equivalent term is panna, which carries the same connotations of deep insight. Unlike knowledge derived from study or logical deduction, prajna is a direct, intuitive apprehension of reality as it truly is. It is often described as seeing things as they are, untainted by subjective biases, misconceptions, or dualistic thinking. This clarity of vision is what distinguishes prajna from ordinary intellectual understanding. Prajna in the context of the threefold training. Buddhist practice is traditionally structured around the threefold training: ethical conduct, sila, meditative concentration, samadhi, and wisdom, prajna. Prajna represents the culmination of this training, integrating the insights gained through ethical living and meditative discipline into a transformative understanding of existence. 1. Sila, ethical conduct. Ethical conduct lays the foundation for the development of prajna by fostering a mind free from the disturbances of unethical actions. By adhering to principles such as non-harming, ahimsa, and truthfulness, satya, practitioners create a stable and harmonious mental environment conducive to insight. 2. Samadhi, meditative concentration. Meditation cultivates the focused awareness necessary for the direct perception of reality. Through practices like mindfulness, sati, and concentration, dhyana, the mind becomes calm and clear, enabling the practitioner to penetrate the veils of ignorance. 3. Prajna, wisdom. Building on ethical conduct and meditative concentration, prajna emerges as the transformative insight that dissolves ignorance, avidya, and reveals the true nature of phenomena. It is through prajna that one can transcend the cycle of birth and death, samsara, and achieve liberation, nirvana. Sunyata, the doctrine of emptiness. A cornerstone of Buddhist metaphysics, sunyata, or emptiness, refers to the absence of intrinsic, independent existence in all phenomena. This teaching is most prominently articulated in Mahayana Buddhism, particularly in the works of the philosopher Nagarjuna, who expounded on sunyata in his seminal text, the Mulamadhyamakarika, the fundamental verses on the middle way. Dependent origination, praditya samutpada. Sunyata is intimately connected with the principle of dependent origination, which states that all phenomena arise in dependence on causes and conditions. Nothing exists independently or in isolation. For example, a tree depends on sunlight, water, soil, and countless other factors for its existence. When these conditions cease, the tree also ceases to exist. Thus, the tree's existence is empty of any inherent, unchanging essence. Misunderstanding emptiness. A common misconception is that sunyata implies nihilism or the non-existence of all things. However, the teaching of emptiness does not deny the conventional existence of phenomena, rather, it highlights their lack of intrinsic nature. This understanding helps practitioners let go of attachment and aversion, as they realize that clinging to transient phenomena as though they were permanent is a source of suffering. Practical application of sunyata. Realizing emptiness transforms one's relationship with the world. By seeing all things as interdependent and impermanent, one develops a sense of equanimity. Attachments and aversions diminish, replaced by compassion and wisdom. For instance, conflicts often arise from rigidly held identities or beliefs. Understanding emptiness allows us to approach such situations with openness and flexibility, reducing tension and fostering harmony. Anatta, the doctrine of non-self. Anatta, or non-self, is another fundamental teaching of Buddhism. It challenges the deeply ingrained belief in a permanent, unchanging self or soul. The Buddha articulated this teaching in response to the prevailing philosophical views of his time, which often posited the existence of an eternal Atman, self. The five aggregates, skandhas. The Buddha taught that what we conventionally call the self is merely a composite of five aggregates. 1. Form, rupa, the physical body and material aspects of existence. 2. Sensation, vedana, feelings of pleasure, pain, or neutrality arising from contact with objects. 3. Perception, sana, the ability to recognize and label experiences. 4. Mental formations, sankhara, thoughts, intentions, and emotions. 5. Consciousness, Vijnana awareness of sensory and mental objects. These aggregates are impermanent and constantly changing. There is no enduring essence within them that can be identified as I or mine. Ego and suffering. Belief in a fixed self gives rise to ego-driven behaviors and attachments. For example, when we identify strongly with our possessions, relationships, or achievements, we experience fear and distress when these things are threatened or lost. Anatta teaches us to see through the illusion of self, reducing the grip of ego and its associated suffering. Freedom through non-self. Understanding anatta leads to profound freedom. When we no longer cling to a false sense of self, we become less reactive to praise or criticism, gain or loss. This equanimity fosters inner peace and opens the door to deeper compassion, as we recognize the shared, interdependent nature of all beings. The interplay between sunyata and anatta. While sunyata and anatta are distinct teachings, they are deeply interconnected. Sunyata addresses the nature of all phenomena, highlighting their lack of intrinsic existence, while anatta focuses specifically on the absence of a permanent self. Together, they dismantle the dualistic thinking that underlies ignorance and suffering. For example, the belief in a separate self often leads to a dichotomy between self and other, fostering attachment, aversion, and conflict. Sunyata reveals that this dichotomy is illusory, as both self and other are empty of inherent existence. This insight dissolves boundaries and fosters a sense of unity and compassion. Cultivating prajna, practices and pathways. The development of prajna is a gradual process that unfolds through study, reflection, and meditation. Different Buddhist traditions emphasize various methods for cultivating this profound wisdom. Study and reflection. Scriptures such as the Prajnaparamita Sutras, Perfection of Wisdom Sutras, provide a theoretical foundation for understanding sunyata and anatta. These texts, including the renowned Heart Sutra and Diamond Sutra, explore the nature of reality in profound depth. Studying these teachings with the guidance of a qualified teacher helps practitioners develop an intellectual grasp of prajna. Reflection involves contemplating these teachings in light of one's own experiences. For instance, observing the impermanence of thoughts, emotions, and external phenomena deepens one's understanding of emptiness and non-self. Meditative insight, vipassana. Meditation is a powerful tool for directly experiencing the truths of sunyata and anatta. Vipassana, or insight meditation, involves observing the impermanent and interdependent nature of phenomena as they arise and pass away. Through sustained practice, practitioners cultivate a penetrating awareness that transcends conceptual understanding. Engaged practices. In Mahayana Buddhism, wisdom is often coupled with compassion in the form of bodhisattva practice. The bodhisattva vows to liberate all beings from suffering, guided by the realization of sunyata and anatta. Engaging in selfless actions reinforces the wisdom of interconnectedness, making prajna a lived reality rather than an abstract concept. The transformative power of prajna. Prajna is not merely an intellectual achievement, it is a transformative force that reshapes one's entire way of being. By dissolving ignorance, prajna brings about profound changes at both the personal and interpersonal levels. Personal transformation. At the personal level, prajna liberates individuals from the cycle of craving, aversion, and delusion. This freedom is accompanied by a deep sense of peace and contentment, as one's actions are no longer driven by ego-based desires. For example, a person who understands anatta may approach challenges with greater resilience, recognizing that difficulties are not personal but part of the ever-changing flow of experience. Interpersonal impact. Prajna also transforms relationships. By seeing others as interconnected and empty of fixed identities, one becomes more compassionate and less judgmental. Conflicts that arise from rigid views or attachments are resolved with greater ease, fostering harmony and mutual understanding. Prajna and the path to enlightenment. The ultimate purpose of cultivating prajna is to achieve enlightenment, the state of awakening in which ignorance and suffering are fully transcended. In this state, the dualities of existence and non-existence, self and other, dissolve, revealing the boundless nature of reality. Enlightenment is not an escape from the world but a profound engagement with it. The awakened individual acts with wisdom and compassion, benefiting all beings. This union of insight and altruism is beautifully encapsulated in the Mahayana ideal of the Bodhisattva, who strives to bring others to liberation while embodying the wisdom of Prajna. Prajna is the pinnacle of Buddhist practice, illuminating the path to freedom from suffering. By understanding and embodying the truths of Sunyata and Anatta, practitioners dismantle the illusions that bind them to samsara. This profound wisdom not only liberates the individual but also fosters a more compassionate and harmonious world. In the words of the Dalai Lama, wisdom is like a lamp that illuminates the darkness of ignorance. Through the cultivation of prajna, we awaken to the true nature of reality, realizing our potential for boundless clarity, peace, and compassion. Once, in a small Himalayan village, there lived a monk named Arun. Known for his serene demeanor and compassionate heart, Arun had spent decades in meditation and study, seeking to embody the teachings of Prajna. Villagers often came to him with their troubles, and Arun always guided them with wisdom drawn from his understanding of Sunyata and Anatta. One day, a young man named Kiran approached Arun, distraught over the sudden loss of his family's wealth. "Everything I valued is gone," Kiran lamented. "Without our riches, who am I?" Arun listened quietly and then led Kiran to a nearby river. He picked up a handful of water and let it trickle through his fingers. "Do you see this water?" Arun asked. "It flows freely, adapting to the shape of its container, yet it is never bound by it. Like water, your true nature is not defined by possessions or circumstances." Kiran frowned, still clinging to his despair. Arun continued, "You believe you are the wealth you have lost, but this is an illusion. Reflect on this. What you call self is like a ripple on the river's surface, a temporary formation, empty of any fixed essence." Over the weeks, Arun guided Kiran in meditation, helping him observe the impermanence of his thoughts and feelings. Gradually, Kiran began to understand that his suffering stemmed not from the loss of wealth but from his attachment to the idea of wealth as part of his identity. With this insight, Kiran found a profound sense of freedom and peace, realizing that he was not defined by his possessions but by the boundless, interconnected nature of his existence. Years later, Kiran became a respected teacher, sharing the wisdom of Prajna with others. He often recounted his time with Arun, saying, "It was not the loss of wealth that liberated me, but the loss of my ignorance." This story illustrates how Prajna, when applied in daily life, has the power to dissolve illusions and reveal the path to true liberation. 3. The relationship between meditation and wisdom, a comprehensive analysis. The Dalai Lama, as one of the most influential spiritual leaders in the modern world, has consistently emphasized the interdependent relationship between meditation and wisdom. In Buddhist philosophy, these two elements are seen as complementary forces that must be cultivated together for a holistic and meaningful spiritual practice. Meditation provides the mental calmness and clarity needed to cultivate wisdom, while wisdom ensures that meditation is purposeful and directed toward meaningful spiritual insight. This intricate relationship forms the foundation of many Buddhist teachings and practices. This essay explores the profound connection between meditation and wisdom, as taught by the Dalai Lama and rooted in Buddhist tradition. Through detailed analysis, we will discuss the nature of meditation and wisdom individually, their interdependence, and the practical ways in which they are integrated. We will also examine their impact on personal development, ethical conduct, and spiritual enlightenment, drawing from Buddhist scriptures, modern psychological insights, and the Dalai Lama's own teachings. The essence of meditation. Meditation is a core practice in Buddhism, aimed at training the mind to achieve stillness, clarity, and focus. It is both a method and a state of being, serving as a bridge between the mundane and the transcendent. Meditation has been practiced for millennia in various forms, but its fundamental goal remains the same: to cultivate inner peace and insight. 1. Types of meditation in Buddhism. Buddhist meditation can be broadly categorized into two primary types. Samatha, tranquility meditation. This form of meditation focuses on calming the mind and achieving mental stability. It often involves concentrating on a single object, such as the breath, a mantra, or an image. The aim is to still the restless mind and develop focused awareness. Vipassana, insight meditation. Vipassana involves the analytical observation of phenomena to develop insight into the nature of reality. Practitioners examine the impermanent, unsatisfactory, and non-self nature of all experiences, thereby cultivating wisdom. 2. The benefits of meditation. Meditation offers a range of psychological, emotional, and spiritual benefits. Mental clarity. By focusing the mind, meditation reduces mental clutter and enhances cognitive sharpness. Emotional regulation. Meditation helps practitioners develop equanimity, reducing the influence of destructive emotions like anger, fear, and jealousy. Spiritual growth. Meditation opens the door to deeper self-awareness and understanding, forming the foundation for transformative wisdom. Physical health. Numerous studies have shown that meditation can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and improve overall well-being. The nature of wisdom in Buddhism. Wisdom, or Prajna, is a central tenet of Buddhist philosophy. Unlike conventional knowledge, which is often rooted in intellectual understanding, wisdom in Buddhism is experiential and transformative. It involves seeing reality as it truly is, free from illusions and misconceptions. 1. Characteristics of wisdom. Buddhist wisdom is characterized by three primary insights. Impermanence, anicca, recognizing that all phenomena are transient and subject to change. Suffering, dukkha, understanding that attachment to impermanent things inevitably leads to dissatisfaction. Non-self, anatta, realizing that the self is not a fixed, independent entity but a collection of interdependent processes. 2. The role of wisdom in ethical conduct. Wisdom is not merely theoretical, it has practical applications in guiding ethical behavior. By understanding the interconnectedness of all beings, individuals develop compassion and a commitment to moral principles. This ethical grounding is essential for progress on the spiritual path. 3. Wisdom as a goal and a guide. In Buddhist practice, wisdom serves both as a goal and as a guide. The ultimate aim of the path is to attain prajna paramitha, or the perfection of wisdom, which leads to enlightenment. Along the way, wisdom guides practitioners in choosing skillful means, avoiding pitfalls, and maintaining focus on their spiritual objectives. The interdependence of meditation and wisdom. The Dalai Lama often describes meditation and wisdom as two wings of a bird. Both are essential for flight. Their interdependence is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice, as each enhances and complements the other. 1. Meditation as the foundation for wisdom. Meditation creates the mental conditions necessary for wisdom to arise. By calming the mind and sharpening focus, meditation enables practitioners to observe phenomena with greater clarity. This clarity is crucial for developing the deep insights that constitute wisdom. Stillness enables observation. A restless mind cannot discern subtle truths. Meditation quiets mental distractions, allowing practitioners to examine the nature of existence without distortion. Concentration strengthens analysis. The focused attention developed through meditation enhances the ability to engage in analytical contemplation, a key aspect of cultivating wisdom. 2. Wisdom as the guide for meditation. Wisdom ensures that meditation is purposeful and directed toward meaningful insights. Without wisdom, meditation risks becoming an aimless exercise in relaxation. Clarifying goals. Wisdom provides a clear understanding of the ultimate objectives of meditation, such as liberation from suffering and the realization of non-self. Avoiding pitfalls. Wisdom helps practitioners recognize and avoid common traps in meditation, such as attachment to pleasant experiences or the illusion of progress. 3. Mutual reinforcement. Meditation and wisdom reinforce each other in a virtuous cycle. Meditation deepens wisdom by providing the mental clarity needed for insight, while wisdom enhances meditation by guiding focus and intention. Together, they create a powerful synergy that accelerates spiritual progress. Practical integration of meditation and wisdom. Integrating meditation and wisdom involves a deliberate and disciplined approach. The Dalai Lama provides practical guidance for balancing these two aspects of practice. 1. Sequential development. While meditation and wisdom are interdependent, their cultivation often follows a sequential pattern. Begin with concentration, develop samatha to stabilize the mind and create a foundation for insight. Introduce contemplation. Once the mind is calm, engage in analytical meditation to explore philosophical concepts and cultivate wisdom. Refine through integration, alternate between tranquility and insight practices, allowing each to reinforce the other. 2. Daily practice. Consistency is key to integrating meditation and wisdom into daily life. The Dalai Lama recommends setting aside dedicated time for both tranquility and insight meditation, reflecting on ethical principles and applying them in everyday interactions, studying Buddhist teachings to deepen understanding and inform practice. 3. Community support. Practicing within a supportive community can enhance the integration of meditation and wisdom. Group meditation sessions, discussions, and teachings provide valuable opportunities for learning and growth. The broader implications of meditation and wisdom. The integration of meditation and wisdom has profound implications for personal development, societal well-being, and spiritual enlightenment. 1. Personal transformation. Meditation and wisdom transform individuals by enhancing self-awareness. Practitioners gain a deeper understanding of their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Fostering inner peace. The calm and clarity developed through meditation reduce stress and promote emotional stability. Cultivating compassion. Wisdom fosters empathy and a sense of interconnectedness, inspiring altruistic actions. 2. Societal impact. The widespread practice of meditation and wisdom can benefit society as a whole by promoting ethical behavior. A deeper understanding of interconnectedness encourages individuals to act with integrity and compassion. Reducing conflict. Meditation reduces reactive tendencies, fostering peaceful interactions. Inspiring leadership. Leaders who embody wisdom and inner calm can guide communities with greater clarity and compassion. 3. Spiritual enlightenment. Ultimately, the integration of meditation and wisdom leads to enlightenment, the realization of ultimate truth and liberation from suffering. This state is characterized by profound peace, boundless compassion, and an unshakable understanding of reality. Challenges and misconceptions. Despite their benefits, the practice of meditation and wisdom is not without challenges. Common misconceptions include viewing meditation as an end in itself. Without wisdom, meditation can become an exercise in self-indulgence rather than a path to enlightenment. Misinterpreting wisdom. Intellectual knowledge is often mistaken for true wisdom, which must be grounded in experiential understanding. Impatience. The path of meditation and wisdom requires time and effort. Rushing the process can lead to frustration and disillusionment. To overcome these challenges, practitioners are encouraged to seek guidance from qualified teachers, maintain a balanced approach, and cultivate patience and perseverance. The relationship between meditation and wisdom is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice and a recurring theme in the teachings of the Dalai Lama. Together, they form a synergistic pair that drives personal transformation, ethical conduct, and spiritual awakening. Meditation provides the mental calm and focus necessary for wisdom to arise, while wisdom ensures that meditation is purposeful and transformative. By integrating meditation and wisdom into our daily lives, we can cultivate inner peace, develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world, and contribute to the well-being of others. The Dalai Lama's teachings remind us that these two elements are not merely tools for individual growth but essential components of a compassionate and harmonious society. Through consistent practice, guided reflection, and a commitment to ethical principles, we can navigate the path of meditation and wisdom, ultimately realizing the profound truths that lead to liberation and enlightenment. In a quiet monastery nestled in the Himalayan foothills, there lived a young monk named Tenzin. From an early age, Tenzin was drawn to the practice of meditation. Every morning, he would sit by the edge of a serene mountain lake, his mind focused on the rhythmic flow of his breath. Over time, his ability to enter deep states of concentration grew, and he became known among his peers for his exceptional meditative skills. Despite his accomplishments, Tenzin often felt a sense of incompleteness. Although his mind was calm, he struggled to understand the deeper purpose of his practice. One day, he approached the elder abbot of the monastery, a wise and compassionate teacher named Lama Dorje. "Master," Tenzin asked, "I have cultivated stillness and focus, but I feel as though something is missing. What should I do?" Lama Dorje smiled and said, "Tenzin, you have mastered the art of calming the mind, but meditation without wisdom is like a lamp without oil. Let me tell you a story." The elder began, "Long ago, a traveler journeyed through a dense forest in search of a hidden treasure. The path was overgrown, and he became lost. One day, he met a guide who offered to light his way with a lantern. The guide said, 'This lantern will show you the path, but you must understand the map to know where it leads.' The lantern," Lama Dorje explained, "is meditation. It illuminates your mind and allows you to see clearly. But the map, that is wisdom. Without it, you may wander aimlessly, even with the light." Moved by the story, Tenzin began to study the teachings of the Buddha with renewed dedication. He reflected on the impermanent and interconnected nature of life, applying these insights to his meditation practice. Over time, he realized that his meditation was no longer just an exercise in stillness but a profound journey toward understanding reality. Years later, Tenzin became a teacher himself, guiding others in the harmonious practice of meditation and wisdom. He often told the story of the lantern and the map, reminding his students that the two must work together for the journey to enlightenment. In this way, the teachings of meditation and wisdom continued to inspire generations, illuminating the path toward liberation and peace. 4. Developing wisdom through meditation, a comprehensive exploration of Vipassana practice. Meditation has been an integral practice in spiritual traditions for millennia, serving as a powerful means to cultivate inner peace, insight, and transcendence. Among the many forms of meditation, Vipassana, or insight meditation, holds a particularly esteemed place, especially in Buddhist teachings. His Holiness the Dalai Lama has often spoken of the transformative power of Vipassana as a tool to cultivate profound wisdom by directly observing and understanding the nature of existence. Through the lens of Vipassana, practitioners are encouraged to investigate the three fundamental characteristics of existence: impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self, anatta. This essay delves deeply into these concepts, elucidates their relevance in contemporary life, and offers a detailed exploration of the insights they provide for personal and spiritual growth. The foundation of Vipassana meditation. Vipassana means, to see things as they really are. Rooted in the teachings of the Buddha, Vipassana is a practice of mindfulness that focuses on the direct observation of one's physical and mental processes. Unlike other forms of meditation that may emphasize concentration or tranquility alone, Vipassana aims to cultivate insight into the true nature of reality. This dual emphasis on mindfulness and insight is what distinguishes Vipassana as a uniquely transformative practice. The Dalai Lama frequently emphasizes that meditation should not be seen as an escape from reality but as a tool to confront it with clarity and compassion. Vipassana provides a structured framework for practitioners to 1. Observe sensations and thoughts, developing awareness of bodily sensations and mental activity without judgment. 2. Identify patterns, recognizing habitual reactions, cravings, and aversions. 3. Cultivate detachment, letting go of attachments and aversions by understanding their transient nature. Impermanence, anicca, the transient nature of reality. Observing impermanence. One of the core insights of Vipassana is the recognition of impermanence. The Dalai Lama often teaches that nothing in the universe, be it physical objects, emotional states, or mental constructs, remains static. Everything is subject to change, decay, and transformation. In Vipassana practice, impermanence is not merely an intellectual concept but an experiential truth. Practitioners are encouraged to focus on the transient nature of their bodily sensations. For instance, the feeling of pain, once observed with equanimity, eventually changes or subsides. Similarly, moments of joy and comfort are fleeting. By directly experiencing these shifts, one gains an embodied understanding of impermanence. Practical implications of impermanence. Understanding impermanence has profound implications for daily life. 1. Reduced attachment. When we realize that everything is transient, we begin to loosen our grip on material possessions, relationships, and outcomes. This does not mean disengagement but rather cultivating a balanced and flexible attitude. 2. Coping with change. Life is inherently unpredictable. Accepting impermanence allows us to navigate transitions, such as loss, aging, and failure, with greater resilience and grace. 3. Mindful living. Recognizing the fleeting nature of each moment encourages us to live more fully in the present, appreciating its uniqueness without clinging to it. The Dalai Lama teaches that impermanence should not be viewed pessimistically. Instead, it is a source of liberation, reminding us that even the most challenging situations are temporary and subject to transformation. Suffering, dukkha, understanding the nature of discontent. The reality of suffering. Dukkha, often translated as suffering or dissatisfaction, is a central theme in Buddhist philosophy. The Dalai Lama explains that suffering arises from our inability to align our expectations with reality. We crave permanence in a world that is inherently impermanent, and we seek happiness in external conditions that cannot provide lasting fulfillment. Vipassana meditation provides a powerful means to confront and understand the nature of suffering. Through mindful observation, practitioners learn to 1. Identify sources of suffering, recognizing how attachment, aversion, and ignorance manifest in their thoughts and actions. 2. Witness suffering without resistance, observing discomfort without reacting impulsively, thereby breaking the cycle of habitual reactivity. 3. Trace suffering to its root causes, gaining insight into how clinging and craving perpetuate dissatisfaction. Overcoming suffering through insight. The insight gained through Vipassana leads to a profound shift in perspective. Acceptance. Instead of resisting unpleasant experiences, practitioners learn to accept them as part of life's natural ebb and flow. Equanimity. By observing suffering with detachment, one develops a state of calm neutrality, free from emotional turbulence. Compassion. Understanding that suffering is universal fosters empathy and compassion for others, as everyone shares this human condition. The Dalai Lama frequently emphasizes that while suffering is an inherent part of existence, it is also a powerful teacher. By confronting suffering with courage and mindfulness, we can transform it into a source of growth and wisdom. Non-self, anatta, the illusion of identity. The concept of non-self. The third characteristic of existence that Vipassana reveals is non-self. According to Buddhist teachings, the notion of a fixed, unchanging self is an illusion. What we perceive as I or me is merely a collection of ever-changing physical sensations, thoughts, and emotions. In Vipassana practice, this insight becomes evident through direct observation. For example, a practitioner may notice how their mood shifts from moment to moment or how their sense of identity changes depending on circumstances. By deconstructing the idea of self, Vipassana helps individuals 1. Detach from ego, let go of egocentric thoughts and behaviors. 2. Reduce fear, particularly the fear of loss, failure, or death, as these fears are rooted in attachment to the false notion of self. 3. Foster interconnectedness, recognize that the boundaries between self and other are fluid, encouraging a more inclusive and compassionate worldview. Non-self in daily life. The realization of non-self has profound practical implications. Humility, understanding that self is a construct reduces arrogance and fosters humility. Improved relationships, by dissolving the ego, we become less defensive and more open to understanding others. Freedom from comparison, letting go of a fixed identity reduces the need to compare oneself to others, promoting inner peace. The Dalai Lama often reminds us that the realization of non-self is not about negating our existence but about freeing ourselves from the limitations imposed by egoic thinking. This freedom paves the way for deeper wisdom and unconditional compassion. The role of wisdom, Prajna, in liberation. Wisdom, or Prajna, is the ultimate goal of Vipassana meditation. The Dalai Lama describes wisdom as the ability to see reality as it truly is, unclouded by ignorance, attachment, or aversion. This clarity allows practitioners to 1. Navigate life skillfully, make decisions that align with the deeper truths of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. 2. Break the cycle of suffering, recognize and dismantle the patterns that perpetuate dissatisfaction. 3. Cultivate compassion, use insight to support others on their journey toward liberation. Integrating Vipassana into modern life. Practical applications. Vipassana is not confined to the meditation cushion. Its principles can be applied to daily life in various ways. Mindful communication, speak and listen with awareness, avoiding reactive or ego-driven interactions. Emotional regulation, use mindfulness to observe and process emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Purposeful living, align actions with values, guided by the wisdom of impermanence and interconnectedness. Challenges and rewards. While Vipassana requires discipline and patience, its rewards are transformative. Practitioners often report greater clarity, emotional resilience, and a deep sense of inner peace. The Dalai Lama encourages individuals to approach the practice with curiosity and perseverance, emphasizing that even small efforts can yield significant benefits. Vipassana meditation, as guided by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, offers a profound pathway to developing wisdom. By deeply understanding impermanence, suffering, and non-self, practitioners transcend ignorance and attachment, achieving greater clarity and peace. This practice not only transforms the individual but also contributes to a more compassionate and harmonious world. Through consistent practice and introspection, Vipassana opens the door to a life of greater freedom, purpose, and joy, a journey toward seeing things as they truly are. Amara was a young professional, navigating the chaotic world of corporate deadlines and personal ambitions. Her days were filled with constant pressure, and nights brought restless sleep. Despite her achievements, she felt a deep sense of dissatisfaction and unease that she couldn't quite articulate. One weekend, she decided to attend a Vipassana retreat at the suggestion of a friend. The first few days were excruciating. Sitting in silence, observing her breath, and confronting her restless mind felt like a monumental task. She wanted to quit, but something about the simplicity of the practice kept her going. By the fourth day, Amara began to notice subtle changes. The physical discomfort she had felt, the sharp pain in her back and the ache in her knees, was still present, but it seemed less overwhelming. By simply observing it without judgment, she realized the sensations were constantly changing, like waves rising and falling in an ocean. As the retreat progressed, Amara began to see patterns in her thoughts and emotions. She noticed how her mind clung to pleasant memories and resisted painful ones. She saw how her constant need for validation and success was rooted in a fear of inadequacy. For the first time, she understood that her suffering stemmed not from external circumstances but from her attachment to fleeting desires and fears. On the final day, during a guided reflection, Amara experienced a profound sense of clarity. She saw herself not as a fixed identity but as a dynamic interplay of experiences, a part of the larger flow of life. This realization brought a deep sense of freedom and peace. She left the retreat with a renewed sense of purpose and a commitment to integrating mindfulness into her daily life. Years later, Amara would reflect on that retreat as the turning point in her life. Vipassana had not only alleviated her stress but had also given her the tools to navigate life with wisdom and compassion. She often shared her story with friends and colleagues, inspiring them to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery. 5. Incorporating mindfulness and wisdom into daily life, lessons from the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama emphasizes the importance of integrating mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom into our everyday lives. By cultivating these qualities, we can navigate challenges with greater calmness, empathy, and clarity. Below is a detailed exploration of how these principles can be applied practically in daily activities. Cultivating mindfulness and awareness in daily activities. Techniques for practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of maintaining a non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. To integrate mindfulness into daily life, consider the following techniques. Mindful breathing. Dedicate a few minutes each day to focus solely on your breath. Inhale and exhale deeply, noticing the sensation of air moving through your body. This practice anchors your mind in the present moment. Mindful eating. Pay attention to the taste, texture, and aroma of your food. Avoid distractions such as television or smartphones during meals. Chew slowly and appreciate each bite. Mindful walking. Turn your walks into a meditative practice by focusing on each step. Feel the ground beneath your feet, notice the rhythm of your movement, and observe the surrounding environment without judgment. Body scanning. Before bed or at the start of your day, take time to scan your body for tension or discomfort. Bring gentle awareness to each body part and relax consciously. Mindful conversations. Engage in conversations with full attention. Listen actively without formulating your response while the other person is speaking. Focus on understanding their perspective. Journaling for awareness. Dedicate time each evening to reflect on your day. Write down moments when you were mindful and when your mind wandered, fostering greater self-awareness over time. Benefits of mindfulness for mental health. Mindfulness offers profound benefits for mental well-being. Stress reduction. Regular mindfulness practice helps lower cortisol levels, reducing stress and promoting relaxation. Improved emotional regulation. Mindfulness enables us to observe and understand our emotions, helping us respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Enhanced focus and productivity. By training the mind to concentrate on the present moment, mindfulness minimizes distractions and increases efficiency in tasks. Greater resilience. Mindfulness strengthens our ability to cope with challenges and recover from setbacks. Improved interpersonal relationships. Practicing mindfulness in interactions enhances empathy, understanding, and patience, which are crucial for building strong connections. Physical health benefits. Studies show that mindfulness reduces blood pressure, strengthens the immune system, and improves sleep quality. Developing compassion and tolerance. The connection between wisdom and compassion. The Dalai Lama teaches that wisdom and compassion are interconnected and mutually reinforcing. Wisdom helps us understand the interconnected nature of existence, which naturally leads to compassion. Recognizing that all beings share the desire for happiness and freedom from suffering fosters empathy and reduces prejudice. For instance, when we understand that anger and negativity often stem from pain or ignorance, we can respond to others with patience and kindness rather than judgment. Wisdom allows us to see beyond superficial differences, such as race, religion, or culture, and appreciate the shared humanity in everyone. Recognizing our shared vulnerabilities creates a sense of unity and reduces feelings of isolation or resentment. Compassion grows from the understanding that each person's experiences and challenges are unique yet interconnected with our own. Using meditation to cultivate love and kindness. Meditation is a powerful tool for nurturing compassion. Practices such as loving-kindness meditation, metta bhavana, involve systematically extending goodwill to oneself, loved ones, neutral individuals, and even adversaries. Start with self-compassion, reflect on your own well-being and silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease." Extend compassion outward, gradually expand these wishes to others, including those with whom you have conflicts. This practice softens the heart and encourages forgiveness. Visualize connection. Imagine a web of interconnectedness, where your kindness ripples outward, touching countless lives. Integrating compassion in actions. Use everyday opportunities to show kindness, such as helping a colleague, listening to a friend, or volunteering in your community. Reflect on compassionate role models. Spend time reflecting on individuals who inspire you with their compassion, and think about how you can embody their qualities. Daily acts of kindness. Incorporate small, deliberate acts of kindness into your day, like holding a door open, offering a genuine compliment, or reaching out to someone in need. Facing challenges and suffering with wisdom. Using meditation to manage negative emotions. Negative emotions such as anger, fear, or jealousy can disrupt our peace. The Dalai Lama advises using meditation to address these emotions. Recognize and label emotions. Instead of suppressing emotions, acknowledge them. For example, silently say, "I feel anger," or "I sense fear." Observe without judgment. Imagine these emotions as clouds passing through the sky of your mind. This detachment reduces their intensity. Shift perspective. Reflect on the impermanence of all feelings. Remind yourself that emotions, like waves, rise and fall naturally. Breathing through emotions. Use deep, rhythmic breathing to calm the nervous system and create space for rational responses. Journaling emotional insights. Write down recurring patterns in your emotions, which can help you identify triggers and develop healthier responses over time. Develop a toolbox for emotional resilience. Incorporate activities such as physical exercise, creative outlets, and time in nature to support emotional balance. Applying wisdom to resolve conflicts and overcome difficulties. Wisdom provides clarity in navigating interpersonal conflicts and life's hardships. The Dalai Lama emphasizes the following strategies. Seek understanding. Approach conflicts with curiosity rather than defensiveness. Ask questions to uncover the root of misunderstandings. Embrace humility. Acknowledge your own mistakes and be willing to compromise. Wisdom often lies in recognizing that solutions require mutual effort. Practice patience. Adopt a long-term view when facing difficulties. Trust that challenges are opportunities for growth and learning. Find meaning in suffering. Reflect on how hardships can cultivate resilience, compassion, and gratitude. For example, personal loss can deepen our empathy for others experiencing similar struggles. Balance logic with empathy. Use logical analysis alongside compassionate understanding to create balanced, effective solutions to challenges. Empower others through wisdom. Share your insights and experiences to inspire and uplift those facing similar difficulties, fostering collective growth. Focus on solutions, not blame. When addressing conflicts, prioritize resolving the issue rather than assigning fault. This approach builds trust and encourages collaborative problem solving. Practice self-reflection. After overcoming challenges, reflect on the lessons learned and how they can guide future decisions. Self-awareness enhances wisdom. Incorporating mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom into daily life is not merely an abstract ideal but a practical path to greater happiness and harmony. By practicing mindfulness, we enhance our mental well-being and ability to focus. Through compassion, we foster deeper connections with others and contribute to a kinder world. Finally, by applying wisdom, we navigate challenges with grace and purpose. The Dalai Lama's teachings remind us that every moment is an opportunity to cultivate inner peace and spread positivity. In doing so, we not only improve our own lives but also inspire those around us to live with greater awareness, love, and understanding. To make these teachings a sustainable part of your life, consider starting with small, consistent practices. Gradually, these moments of mindfulness, acts of compassion, and applications of wisdom will ripple outward, creating a life filled with meaning, connection, and fulfillment. In the journey of integrating these principles, remember that progress is incremental. Every mindful breath, compassionate act, and wise decision contributes to a more harmonious and fulfilling existence. The key lies in perseverance and the genuine desire to grow, both for your own benefit and the collective good of humanity. Once upon a time in a bustling city, there lived a man named Daniel. Daniel was a corporate executive whose days were packed with meetings, deadlines, and unrelenting stress. Despite his material success, he often felt a void in his life, a sense of disconnection from himself and others. One day, during a rare moment of quiet in a local park, Daniel overheard a group discussing mindfulness and the teachings of the Dalai Lama. Intrigued, he approached them and was invited to join their weekly meditation sessions. Though skeptical at first, he decided to give it a try. In the beginning, sitting still and focusing on his breath felt unnatural. His mind raced with thoughts of work and unresolved conflicts. But as the weeks passed, Daniel began to notice subtle changes. He found himself becoming more aware of his emotions and reactions. Instead of snapping at colleagues during stressful moments, he paused, took a deep breath, and responded with composure. Daniel also started practicing loving-kindness meditation. At first, it felt awkward to wish happiness for people he resented. But over time, he noticed a shift in his perspective. He began to see his co-workers, even the difficult ones, as individuals with their own struggles and aspirations. Compassion replaced judgment, and his relationships improved dramatically. One pivotal moment came during a heated boardroom meeting. A disagreement escalated, and tensions were high. Drawing on his mindfulness practice, Daniel calmly suggested a break and invited everyone to take a moment to breathe and reflect. When the meeting resumed, the atmosphere was noticeably calmer, and a constructive solution was reached. Outside of work, Daniel applied his newfound wisdom to his personal life. He rekindled strained relationships with family members by listening without interrupting and expressing genuine care. He also found joy in simple pleasures, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, the laughter of children in the park, and the warmth of the morning sun. Years later, Daniel became a mentor, sharing his journey of transformation with others. He often quoted the Dalai Lama's teachings, emphasizing that true success lies not in wealth or status but in living with mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom. Daniel's story reminds us that no matter how chaotic life may seem, we all have the capacity to cultivate inner peace and positively impact those around us. His journey is a testament to the profound changes that mindfulness and wisdom can bring, one breath and one act of kindness at a time. Conclusion. The role of meditation and wisdom in achieving enlightenment. Meditation, Samadhi, and wisdom, Prajna, are two of the central pillars in the Buddhist path to enlightenment. Alongside ethical conduct, Sila, these form the threefold training that guides practitioners toward liberation from suffering and the cycle of birth and death, samsara. These elements are deeply interdependent, each reinforcing and amplifying the others. 1. Meditation, Samadhi. Meditation serves as a transformative practice to still the mind, foster concentration, and cultivate mental clarity. By meditating, practitioners learn to focus their awareness, calm the turbulence of their thoughts, and open the door to profound inner insight. Meditation creates a stable platform for observing reality as it is, free from distractions or distortions. 2. Wisdom, Prajna. Wisdom in Buddhism is the deep understanding of the nature of reality, characterized by the recognition of the three marks of existence: impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self, anatta. Wisdom emerges not merely from intellectual study but through the experiential insight gained in meditative states. It dissolves ignorance and reveals the truth of interdependence and the emptiness, sunyata, of all phenomena. 3. The interplay between meditation and wisdom. Meditation without wisdom might lead to temporary peace of mind but cannot result in true liberation. Conversely, wisdom without meditation lacks the clarity and depth necessary to penetrate delusion. Together, they form an inseparable synergy. Meditation prepares the mind for the arising of wisdom, while wisdom refines and deepens the meditative process. Through this integrative practice, individuals are guided toward enlightenment, Nirvana, the ultimate goal in Buddhism, where all defilements are extinguished, and one realizes the nature of reality in its purest form. Encouraging the practice of meditation and development of wisdom according to the Dalai Lama. The 14th Dalai Lama has consistently emphasized the importance of integrating meditation and wisdom into daily life for those on the path of spiritual development. His teachings provide practical and compassionate guidance, making profound Buddhist principles accessible to practitioners of all levels. 1. Meditation as the foundation. The Dalai Lama advocates regular meditation practice to foster a calm and balanced mind. He advises starting with basic mindfulness, Samatha, to develop mental stability and gradually progressing to analytical meditation, Vipassana, to cultivate insight into the nature of reality. 2. Wisdom through reflection and study. According to the Dalai Lama, wisdom arises not only through meditation but also through careful study and contemplation. He encourages practitioners to explore Buddhist scriptures, engage in critical reflection, and participate in discussions with experienced teachers to deepen their understanding. 3. The union of wisdom and compassion. The Dalai Lama highlights the inseparability of wisdom and compassion in achieving enlightenment. He teaches that wisdom should be complemented by an altruistic mindset, cultivating the bodhisattva ideal to benefit all sentient beings. Meditation on compassion, alongside wisdom, purifies the mind and strengthens the resolve to help others. 4. Practical application. The Dalai Lama often emphasizes the importance of applying meditation and wisdom to everyday challenges, making the teachings of Buddhism relevant in modern contexts. Whether addressing stress, interpersonal conflicts, or global issues, the cultivation of inner peace and clear understanding serves as a foundation for harmonious living. Advice for beginners on the path of practice. For those new to the path of meditation and wisdom, the journey can seem overwhelming at first. However, with patience, determination, and the right guidance, progress is both achievable and deeply rewarding. Here are some key recommendations for beginners. 1. Start with ethical conduct, sila. Before diving into meditation, practitioners should establish a foundation of ethical behavior. This includes avoiding harmful actions, speaking truthfully, and cultivating kindness. A disciplined and virtuous life creates the conditions for effective meditation and insight. 2. Begin with simple practices. Beginners should start with straightforward practices such as mindfulness of breathing, anapanasati. By focusing on the breath, they learn to anchor their attention and stabilize the mind. Gradually, they can explore more advanced meditative techniques. 3. Create a dedicated space and time. Consistency is key to developing a meditation habit. Setting aside a specific time and place each day for practice fosters discipline and builds momentum over time. 4. Seek guidance from experienced teachers. Learning from experienced teachers or joining meditation groups provides valuable insights, encouragement, and corrections for common mistakes. Teachers can also help tailor practices to individual needs and challenges. 5. Balance effort with patience. Meditation is a long-term practice, and beginners should approach it with patience. Rather than striving for immediate results, they should focus on steady progress, cultivating equanimity toward successes and setbacks alike. 6. Integrate practice into daily life. Meditation should not be confined to formal sitting sessions. Beginners can practice mindfulness in daily activities such as walking, eating, or interacting with others. This helps bridge the gap between meditation and practical life. 7. Study and reflect. Beginners are encouraged to read introductory texts on Buddhism and meditation to develop a theoretical understanding alongside their practice. Reflecting on these teachings deepens their significance and provides inspiration. 8. Cultivate compassion and altruism. Embodying compassion for oneself and others is an essential aspect of the practice. It creates a positive mental environment that supports both meditation and the development of wisdom. By following these steps, beginners can establish a solid foundation for their spiritual journey. As the Dalai Lama often reminds his followers, the path to enlightenment is a gradual process, but every step taken with sincerity brings one closer to true freedom and peace.